Welcome to your mat today. This practice is called Unwind the Day. Most of you that have reached out and offered requests have really talked about just that you're using a lot of these classes post workouts or at the end of your day, or you're just needing something that is more in the realm of stretching. And I'm going to do a little still variety in all these classes, as you hopefully can see. But this class is going to be kind of unwinding at the end of the day. So if you have a strap, I want you to grab a strap. Again, if you don't have props, don't worry about it. I'll give options, but strap would be helpful today. One block. And then if you have either a tennis ball or a myofascial release ball, which probably is not as common, but tennis balls might be. Again, we're just going to do it for a couple things, and I will give options if you don't have it. So don't worry for even a second, okay? So I want you to find child's pose on your mat. Bring your forehead down to the floor. Allow yourself to physically, in this first asana, in this first shape, begin to unwind from wherever your day has taken you, or if you're doing this at the beginning of your day, to take a moment and be intentional about how you would like the day to go. As we practice today, we will use a mindfulness technique called stop. The S stands for stop. The T stands for take a few deep breaths. The O is observing. And the P is for paying attention, noticing what we're paying attention to. So as we have already stopped and we are hopefully taking a couple of deep breaths, observe what sensations you are feeling in your body. And as we pay attention today, I want you to ask yourself, what is important for me to pay attention to right now? What's important for me to pay attention to right now? Set an intention if you like. Let that be your guide for what you pay attention to. Then I want you to lift up a little off your legs. Walk your hands over to the right. And if you like, place your left hand on top of your right hand. So in each pose, really, we're given a chance to observe what we feel and to ask ourselves, what would we like to be paying attention to right now? Let's go the other way. Lift up. Second side. Right palm on left palm. Very good. Come back to center. Let's inhale, come up, tabletop position. We're going to start with a variation of a cat and cow. So we're going to let the belly drop. Inhale, lift the chest, gaze forward. And now as you exhale, you're going to round your back. And as you do, stretch your right leg back so the ball of your foot is down and round the back that way. Put the knee back down. Inhale, do it again. Open the chest. Exhale, extend the right leg back. Round your back. Inhale. Once more. Exhale. Good. Now inhale. Come forward. Lift that right leg up. And take the right toes and turn the right toes off to the right. And start to sweep the right knee towards your right arm. Sweep the right knee towards the floor. Take the knee back. And then do the whole thing. Straighten the leg out. And make these circles. Knee to tricep. Knee under the belly. Keep the weight in both your hands. Extend the leg back. Do it one more time. Bringing the leg forward toward the knee, reaching it back. Good. Breathe in, toes pointing down now. Let that outer right hip come down and step your right foot forward in between your hands. Yes. Good. Now take your back shin and I want you to swivel it about a 45-degree angle behind you, coming up to a kneeling warrior one. Right hand is going to come to hip and left hand. Now if you need to pad your left knee, pad that left knee. Left arm reaches up. Turn your thumb behind you and start to reach the arm back until you can't really go back anymore in this way. And then I want you to turn the palm out and circle it back as you exhale. Now you're going to go the opposite way. Take the arm back, palm is facing in towards you. And when you can't go up any higher, turn the palm out, externally rotate the arm, and bring it back up. Once more, breathe in. When you can't go any further, exhale, turn the palm, breathe out. Last time going backwards, reach it back, inhale. Turn the palm out, reach it up, exhale. Take your left hand off to the left, right down, and I want you to line it up approximately with your left knee. Reach your right arm up to the sky and keep your right knee over your right ankle. Now arch through these ribs. So let your right ribs arch up, breathe in. And then exhale, keep them arching up and let the arching go more into your back as you sweep your right arm under your left arm in between your left leg. Inhale, reach it up. And maybe even lay back a little. Exhale. Once more, breathe in. Exhale, breathe out. Good. Inhale, reach up. Good. Exhale, take this hand down, and you're just going to come to seated. Slide that right leg back a little bit, and I'm just going to stay facing the side edge of my mat, and you can as well. You're going to take your right hand, bring it behind you. Your left arm, you're going to take it across towards this right shoulder. And instead of letting the shoulder come forward, I want you to rotate the shoulder back. So really draw the shoulder back, lift your chest. This left sit bone is up, and you're going to take it into a twist. Inhale, look behind you. So big stretch for the side waist here. And then exhale, bring it back. Good, do it again. Inhale. Observe the sensation. And as you do, continue to let the breath be that anchor. Take deep breaths. Breathe in. Exhale, breathe out. Last time, inhale. Exhale. Good. Now turn just slightly. You're going to extend this right leg out. So it's kind of like you've got about a 90-ish degree angle here. You're going to rotate to the outer edge of this right foot. Let that left sit bone lift and bring your hands, if you can, to the outside of the right leg. If it's too much, you can always grab the block. And those of you that can, you can bring your forearms down to the ground here. Now, some of you might like this back leg bent. Some of you might want to extend the leg back. And so you straighten the leg. You're on the inner edge of your back foot. You can stay here with right forearm down, or if you like, reach your left arm on the diagonal, kind of away from your right foot, and bow your head down. Take one more breath. Let it go. Walk the hands back in. Now, your hands hopefully are about at the top of your mat. Bend your right leg in. Kind of lean onto that back leg. Tuck the toes. Put your left knee down and slide your right leg back out. Woohoo! Okay, second side. Drop the belly. Inhale, lift the chest. Open up. As you exhale, round the back, extend your left leg back. Ball of the foot down. Push into the hands. Inhale, knee down. Exhale, extend the leg back. Once more, breathe in. Belly down, heart forward. Exhale. Good. Now inhale, lift the leg up parallel to the floor and you draw the outer left hip down. Zip the low belly in. And exhale, step that left foot forward between your hands. Now take your back shin, Swivel it 45 degrees. You're coming up to a kneeling warrior one. Yep, now left hand is going to come onto our hip. As you inhale, reach your right arm up to the sky. Palm faces to the left. When you can't go any further, turn your palm out and exhale, reach the arm back. You're trying to keep the arm as close to the body as you can. So inhale, up. So it makes it much easier if I just let my arm go off to the side, but you're trying to keep it in. Turn the palm, bring it back up. Again, inhale back, exhale, turn. Inhale up, exhale, turn and lift. Last time, inhale, exhale. Inhale, lift. Exhale, reach. Very good. Now right hand, bring it in line with that right knee. Left arm reaches up to the sky. Inhale. Exhale. Thread the arm as you do. Really let the ribs arch and draw your tailbone down. Push into this bottom hand. Inhale, reach back up. Maybe let the top arm float back a little bit, opening up the chest to unwind from the day. Circle the arm under. One more. Breathe in. Exhale, breathe out. Good. Inhale, reach up. Good. Now exhale. Again, you're going to let yourself come down. Coming on down, I'm going to turn back so my back's not to you. This time your right leg is back, your left leg is bent forward, kind of a modified deer pose. Left hand's coming behind you, and now right hand's coming across to left shoulder. Draw the head of that shoulder back. Let your right sit bone lift. And inhale, turn your torso to the left. And then exhale, come back around. Inhale. Lean. Exhale. Once more, inhale. Maybe just stay for an extra breath. Keep drawing that left shoulder back. Nice stretch for the front of the psoas here. Good. Unwind. Extend this left leg out. You're going to start with the toes up, and then you're going to do your best to let the outer pinky side of the foot come towards the floor. Taking both hands outside that left leg, lift your chest. You might stay right here, or exhale, start to come down. Option to straighten this back leg, inner edge of the foot down. And left forearm stays down. If you like, reach the right arm away from your left leg in the opposite direction. So right arm going to the left. And as it goes to the left, try to wrap this right frontal hip point towards the floor. Notice what you're paying attention to. Such a good mindfulness technique is in any given moment. You stop. You take a couple deep breaths. Observe the sensation. And then notice what you're paying attention to. Walk yourself back up. Good. Bend that leg back in. And we're going to come to a Malasana. So I'm just going to stay facing you. Heels down if they'll go down. If not, grab a blanket or just let those heels lift. We won't be here too long. Palms to the heart. Lift your chest. Good. Take a deep breath. Breathe in. Breathe out. Really let that tailbone drop down. Create some space in the low back here. Now we're going to push to stand. We don't want to wake things up too much, especially if it's at the end of the day, but if you need a little energy, it just helps to kind of create a little bit of range of motion through the legs and the hips. So push down into those feet. Inhale, push up, let the arms open up. Breathe in. And exhale, sink back in. Inhale, push. Exhale, draw back in. 2 more of these. Breathe in. Maybe hint of a smile. Exhale. 1 more time. Breathe in. Exhale, breathe out. This time we're going to push to stand. Inhale. And now hands behind the head. Exhale. Let your feet come in a hair. Feet are parallel to each other now. Push your hands back into your head back into your hands. And as you inhale, I want you to tip to the right. Inhale. And as you exhale, keep the legs steady, but turn your torso. Rotate your torso so your elbows are out wide and you're turning to the side or towards the floor. And then inhale, tip forward. You're still in a lateral side bend. Inhale. And then exhale, come back up to center. Now let's go to the left. Inhale. Keep the hips as level as you can. Just turn torso towards the floor, elbows wide. Inhale. Stay leaning. Exhale, back up to center. Let's do it one more time, each side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last time left. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Reach your arms up. Breathe in. Inhale. Swan dive. If you're not at the top of your mat, step up there. Forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, left foot steps back. Low lunge twist. Left hand down. Inhale, right arm up to the sky. So bend into the lunge. Squeeze your feet together as you wrap your outer right hip towards your back inner thigh. Expand your wings. Top hand down, heels in, toes out, Skandasana or skater pose. So skater pose, you're up higher like this. Your hands are down, left knee is bent, tracking straight over those toes. Skandasana, you might lift the heel, but you're going to let your right toes lift up off the floor. Now staying here, walk your hands out, bowing the forehead down. That heel might drop, so you're walking to the left. Now if I'm in a skater pose, I can do the same thing. I'm just doing more like almost like a down dog lunge here. Good. Walk your hands back in. Inhale. Turn your toes back to the front of the mat. Exhale. Push off that back foot. Inhale. Lengthen the spine. Exhale. Right foot steps back. Lunge. Low lunge twist. Right hand down. Inhale. Left arm up to the sky. Hug your right shoulder blade, the bottom one, in towards the spine as gravity takes your left one, the top one, and kind of just naturally draws it in and down. Top hand down inside that front foot. Skandasana, heels in, toes out. Bend the right leg, straighten the left leg. Remember, you can stay up a little higher into a skater stance. And then walk your arms over towards in the same direction as that right knee. Big stretch for that Achilles. You might even notice it in the calf, the groin. Hands back underneath you. Walking back around to that front leg. Inhale. Pushing off. Exhale. Step forward. Let your feet be about hip width apart. Bend your knees, belly to thighs. Clasp your hands behind your back and stretch your arms up and over. Relax your head and neck. And if you like, lean a little bit to the right. So let your left side of your belly lift off that left thigh as you look maybe just a little bit to the left. And then back to center, and then lean onto that left leg. Draw the right shoulder back. And center. Exhale, hands down to the ground. Inhale, heart forward. And exhale, step back to tabletop. Good. Now here's where we're going to need our block. Now if you don't have a block, we're going to be taking a thigh stretch. So if you don't have a block, I want you to come onto your belly, and you're going to take right hand to right foot and take a thigh stretch. And you can bring your forehead down to the ground, or you can be up a little higher. So those of us that do have a block, right foot's forward in between your hands. And you're going to take the block. I want you to start with it at the highest height, and then you can always go down. So we're going to do a little myofascial release for that thigh. I want you to lift that back leg up. And you're going to get the block, the top of the block, to get kind of right into the belly of the quads. So your right foot is outside your right hand. And then it's just sort of a feeling around sort of a thing, okay? So for some of us, you might like right hand on right leg and twist and going more to the outer part of the leg. Some of you might realize you want to go a little lower and you're going to drop the block. And as you drop the block, you also drop your forearms. And you might just move or pulse a little bit front and back. Or you can also lean to the side. Taking deep breaths, letting the breath be that anchor. And then walk the hands back underneath you. If you're on the belly, you'll need to just come up to tabletop. We're going to slide that right foot in front of our left foot. And if you're tighter in the hips here, you can just come onto the forearms and start to walk yourself back a little bit. You may not get to the point where your hips actually even get down. So it's like a variation of cow face pose. You keep sending the groins back. And those of you that can sit back, go ahead and sit back in between those feet. And you could always use that block if you can't quite sit back. But sometimes just being up on the forearms a little bit and sending the groins back, if we're really tight in the hips, this kind of can feel a bit magical, okay? So not forcing it today. And if we're not sitting or occupying that block in any way, you are welcome to use it for your third eye in your Gomukhasana. And the more we scoot our feet away from those hips, the deeper the stretch becomes. A blanket might be helpful as well. You can always sit on a blanket here. Take another deep, steady breath. Then slowly start to come back up. Very good. Block off to the side, just kind of tiger-esque. Crawl yourself forward. Unwind your legs. And then just let your hips dip a little bit side to side. So the yoga practice, what it's inviting us to do is to kind of stay with the sensations, to not close down. And we don't even realize how much energy is required to close off sometimes. So we're going to repeat the second side. So those of you laying on the belly, to take your thigh stretch. Now you're bending your left leg. The rest of us are stepping left foot forward. Bring the foot to the outside of your hand and grab the block. It actually requires more energy to keep ourselves closed than it does to open, but it really does take some practice. We have to build that muscle to not close down. So I'm starting with my block on the highest height I usually do. And as much as I can, I mean, the ball of my right foot is down. I don't want to lift it. I've got a cork block, so it's a little harder, but I could, okay? My weight is pretty much in my hands and my left foot, but I've got the ball of that right foot down just to steady me. So some of you are rocking side to side. Some of you might be dropping that block, and you may move it a little forward, a little back. You have to find that spot. I've got a lot of spots, so I could be here for, a full 20 minutes, just stretching my quads, getting some nice myofascial release here. And today I've kept this knee, the left knee, kind of hugging in towards my armpit, but some of you instinctively might have those toes turned out at a 45-degree angle, and you might be letting that knee open out to the left. And if that's what's happening, let that happen today. Unwind from your day. Can you stretch your heart forward, though, a little more? And as you stretch the heart forward, notice how the hips kind of relax a little deeper, and you're putting a little more weight into that, all those 4 quadricep muscles in that right leg. Good. Now stay longer if you can. We're going to walk back up. Coming off that block, set the right knee down, block off to the side, and now left foot, it's going to cross in front of your right. Open up those feet. Sit back in between your feet. Lift your chest up. And remember, you can do that sort of modified variation where you're on the forearms and you're just sort of sitting, almost like child's pose. You're going to sit the weight back, let the belly really connect right onto those thighs. And then those of you that can get those sit bones back down, I want you to go ahead and bring them down. Block can be under the third eye. I can't emphasize enough how important it is that we take time for stretching. How many physical ailments that we might have, inflammation in our body, that if we just took a little more time to stretch, I could almost promise you some of those symptoms and that inflammation would slowly start to decrease. Good. Inhale, come up. Exhale, block off to the side. We are going to get that myofascial ball, and I want your block handy, your strap handy as well, okay? So either tennis ball or myofascial release ball. We're going to come into a twist. So we're going to extend our right leg. I'm going to put my block off to the left on the middle height. Kind of the long way is parallel to the long edge of my mat. And then you're going to take your left knee in towards your chest. And we're going to let the right leg come over so it sets onto that ball and block. And if you don't have a block or a ball, just put the left foot on top of your right thigh and you're just in a supine twist, which is equally delicious, okay? But if you have the ball, I want you to set it on top of the block. And then you're just going to let the leg, as much as you can, let your left leg relax. I like my right hand on the outer leg, because then I can just help the leg be more passive. And you can just massage a little bit on that inner thigh. And for me, as I get kind of closer towards the inner knee, there's a little bit more sensitivity. This may not be your biggest myofascial release, but I want you to remember that sometimes it's the spaces where just a little, you feel like just a little is happening, that actually a lot is happening. Now, if you want, you can let your left leg sort of straighten out a little bit. Ooh, and then, again, as I kind of get right to the top portion a little bit of my inner left knee, so sensitive for me in there. So you, again, roll around for a moment. And then we're going to come back around, unwinding. I'm going to move the block so you can see. Now, we're going to put the left foot on the floor, lean to your right, and you're going to slide your myofascial ball kind of under the bullseye of your right glute. Now, your left foot's going to stay on the floor so you can control how much pressure is on that right leg, the right glute. And then we're going to just start to roll around. Again, you can roll more medially. Is that a word? Medially? It is now. So I get, again, a lot of sensitivities kind of right towards the butt, center of the butt crack, if I'm really getting specific here. And I also get a lot of sensitivities if I roll almost more onto my outer right side. I can get a lot of juicy spots. So you're just exploring here. If you ever get any zinging, you never want any zinging when you're doing myofascial release. So again, push down more into that left foot. Sometimes I find a good spot and then that I just stay. Okay, I just take I stop, I take deep breaths. I observe what sensations or what thoughts are present. And then I pay attention to what it is I want to focus my awareness on. And then push into that left foot or lean left. That's the easiest for me, is I lean left and I take the ball out. And we're going to grab that strap. Grab that strap. Put it around. You're going to make a really big loop. So I've already started mine. And you're going to put it around your right foot and pick your head up. We're going to get a little hamstring stretch because we haven't really hit those hamstrings yet. And you're going to put the strap right along kind of the base of the skull, right where you kind of feel it meeting the neck. And you'll want to loosen it enough that for you and your hamstring, it's not pulling too much. So the degree that you let your head go back and your foot push up, you find that balance point. Some of you are going to enjoy stretching your left leg straight. And if I don't have a strap here, I'm going to take my hands behind the back of my right hamstring and just clasp right here. Okay? So, and I just realized I didn't give you an option, but I will on the second side if you didn't have the ball, the myofascial release ball. So just hang tight. Sorry, you had to just watch that if you didn't have a ball, but I will make sure and give you an option here on the second side. Can you let your head surrender back a little more? Make sure it's not hurting your neck. And ever so gently, and I mean ever so gently, push up a little bit with that right foot. Relax your jaw. Good. And then take your hands on the sides of the strap. Let your right leg bend in. Extend that leg out. And just pause for a moment. Okay, second side. Right knee's coming into your chest block on the left side. Lower your block to the middle height. Remember, easy twist, sole of the right foot if you don't have a block or ball. And you're just twisting over to the left. We're going to take that ball to the inner thigh. I'm going to take my hand, my left hand to my outer right leg. My right arm opens up like a T. And then I'm just going to move my leg a little bit using my hand. And if you want to straighten the right leg a little bit. Slow, steady Ujjayi breath. I strongly encourage you to take more time than what we're doing because these are shorter practices. And then take the ball, set the right foot to the floor, lean to the right, slide your left butt cheek up, and you're going to slide the ball under. Now, figure 4. So if you weren't doing anything the first time, left ankle hooks above your right knee, and you're going to thread the eye of the needle. And I'll tell you in a moment when you can switch because you didn't do it on the other side, okay? So right foot is down. That's what's controlling your pressure. You're putting the ball kind of right into the center of the booty. Ooh, this side's more sore. And you're going to just roll around. Practice not closing down even as you feel the resistance, even as you feel the tension. And then set that right butt cheek down. Lean to the right, slide the ball out. Grab that strap. Put the strap around your left foot now, just making sure the buckle's not on your head. So it's a very big strap. Slide it around the base of the skull. Arms by your sides. Right foot can stay on the floor or extend it out. Remember, if I don't have a strap, your head is down. And we are clasping our hands behind the back of that left hamstring. Okay? Relax the space between your eyebrows. Relax your forehead. Let your head surrender back a little bit deeper. Take another breath. And take your hands on the sides of the strap. Let your head come down. Release the leg to the floor. Arms by your sides. Hug your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a final squeeze. If there's anything else, yogis, you would love to do, take a moment. Otherwise, let your legs extend out. Palms face up, arms by your sides. Push into the elbows. Hug your outer upper arms in a little closer to each other. And then relax your entire body. Continue to take deep breaths. Observe. Observe what shows up as you are on your mat. Trying not to push anything away. And then move your fingers and toes. Stretch your arms. Take more time if you can lay in Savasana longer to unwind. Stretch your arms though if you need to do a few more things before the end of the day. Arms overhead. Feet to the floor. Roll to the right side. You could lay to the left if you like, if it's nighttime. And then use your hands. Press yourself back upright. Fold your hands together in at your heart space. As we leave the mat today, we use the P to pay attention and to ask ourselves, what is most important for me in this moment to be paying attention to? Teaching our mind, training our mind, recognizing that thoughts will continuously come and we will continuously keep training the mind for what it is that we want to pay attention to. Drawing thumbs to third eye. Thank you for your time on the mat today. It was my honor to be with you. Namaste. Thank you.